So, the Israelites are getting ready to finally enter the promised land. After all these years, it's finally time. And they come up to the Jordan River, which is blocking them from getting there. And the river is at flood stage. And it looks pretty nasty. It's going to be hard to get across that. And then in Joshua chapter 3, verse 17 says this: the priests who carried the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord stopped in the middle of the Jordan and stood on dry ground. The river stops flowing, while all Israel passed by until the whole nation had completed the crossing on dry ground. They crossed the river and didn't even get their feet wet. Isn't that awesome? And why does that so rarely happen for me? Because when I have to do something difficult, my feet get wet. I end up wading through the river almost every time. And why is that? Why is it that most of the time, instead of God parting the river and letting me go through on dry ground with an easy trip, why does he make it hard? Why does he let it be hard almost all the time? Because God parting a river is rare. It's the exception, not the rule. Normally, God wants me to face the challenges of an obstacle because it makes me more the person he wants me to be. There's a really, really cool scene in The Prince of Egypt, that movie from the 90s, about Moses when they crossed the Red Sea. And God parts the sea and the people are crossing the sea, but it's not easy. There are rocks and valleys and it's a tough journey. And I'm going, that's how it usually works. God does enough to make it so I can make it. He gets me enough to get me through. And then he lets me do the hard parts, a lot of the hard parts myself, so I can grow and be the person he wants me to be. So today, you may be crossing a river and you're wishing God would just part it and let you cross on dry ground. But don't worry. He's with you even when he doesn't part the river. Even when he makes you wade across the stream. Because God's with you, God's growing you, and God's making you into the person he created you to be. And that's today's Jumpstart.